Good morning, everyone, and thank you for attending the OptfinITy monthly webinar. I apologize for the late delay. We've had a few people who were coming in late, so we postponed it a few minutes. So a little bit about the webinar. We do our webinars once every month. It's always on the fourth Friday of the month. And our webinars are really focused on topics that can affect the individual users at a company. In addition to our monthly webinars, we also offer a third Thursday of the month, Lunch and Learn. The Lunch and Learns, like the webinars, are available for individuals to learn about different technology topics, but our focus on the Lunch and Learns is more specifically for business owners, business managers, as they tend to focus on topics that affect the enterprise as opposed to something each individual user needs to be involved with. Our next Lunch and Learn topic, which will be coming up in June of 2016, is how to protect yourself with social media. So if you'd like more information on that, I encourage you to attend our Lunch and Learn. It is in Fairfax. Lunch is provided by us. You can check out more information about us on our newsletter, our social media, as well as our website. So to get started today, you should all see the online meeting software option title page. What we are going to be doing at this point is we're going to talk about a variety of online software options that are out there. It is not meant to be completely inclusive, but it is going to talk about the most common ones that people tend to use. A little bit about us. OptfinITy has been around since 2002. Our focus has been on providing peace of mind to small businesses and nonprofit organizations. The way we do that is we provide a flat rate service, so you pretty much know what you're paying. We're 100% proactive. We're making sure systems stay up and running and not waiting for things to break. We're based in the Washington, D.C. area, actually in Springfield, Virginia, and we work with well over 200 clients in existence with about 70 to 100 on a regular basis. Our services and core competencies are IT strategy and assessments. We help organizations use technology the way they need to utilize it. Provide managed services, so a 24/7 help desk, network operations center, infrastructure support. We develop websites. We do, on average, 3 or 4 are in progress at a time. We also do mobile application development as well as phone systems. So we're going to talk about webinars. If you have any questions, please utilize the text box on the side. A webinar is really, it's short for a web-based seminar. Been around for a long time. They're utilized from a variety of things, for training, school, education, just presenting demonstrations of people's products. You can utilize a webinar in a variety of ways. The way we're doing it today, which is we're putting up the information on the screen so you can utilize it, but you can also do it with video conferencing. You can do it with a variety of tools and technologies. You can stream music, stream video. The webinar today, and to keep it informative, is to be interactive. So the ability to give, receive, and discuss information in real time. While there are thousands of things you can look for in a webinar, we're going to focus on what those key features are. So desktop sharing, okay, every webinar is going to have that, but that's obviously one thing. You want to make sure that the desktop sharing feature is easy to use, it streams pretty quickly, and it looks well. Application integration. Can you load up PowerPoint with it? Can you utilize web-based components? Does it have to show your entire screen? Does it tie into specific applications? Pricing is obviously a big piece. Is the pricing based on flat rate? Is it a number of minutes, number of users? Ease of use. Can people use it easily? Is it easy to install? If it is installed at all, some applications can run right off the web. Others you need to install. Others require the use of Flash. Does it offer audio and video support, which is becoming more and more of a major component? Does it give you the ability to chat or questions? You know, if you're doing a webinar, you want people to be able to get back to you, but it doesn't always make sense for everybody to talk at the same time. So chat and question capability is an important piece of it. Can you do slideshows? With slideshows, can you do whiteboard features? For example, if we have a slideshow and I wanted to circle something and show and write on there, can I do that? Can you conduct polls and surveys? Will you have the ability to ask people what they're thinking, get some interactive feedback? Looks like I put desktop sharing in there twice, so I'll leave that one alone. Recording. Can you record it? In fact, we're recording this presentation right now, and it'll be on our YouTube channel. Very important, especially if you're doing demonstrations. Video streaming. Okay, can you share videos, whether it's YouTube, whether it's loaded on there? Mobile, by far one of the most important things you can consider in today's day and age. More than half of all users accessing the internet are doing it via a mobile device. So are there apps for those components? So you want to look at that. And then the last piece we're going to look for in this particular component is registration functionality. If people are signing up for a meeting, do they have to fill out a form? Do they have to use a third-party software? Do they have to, create something and just send an email? So you want to look at those things. So the first one we're going to talk about today is Adobe Connect. As you can tell, there's a screen capture of what Adobe looks like. It has a video portion. You can tie in social media. You can tie in a presentation. Obviously, the one right there is on SEO. You can have a live chat screen going on below it. I mean, this is a very interactive screenshot of what's going on with Adobe Connect. So what are some of the benefits that Adobe offers? Well, for one, personalized URLs. You can literally have a URL that's tied to your account. They click on that URL and it automatically takes you to the Adobe Connect screen. Adobe Flash. Now, this is a good and a bad aspect. Now, Flash has been around for a long time. It's made by Adobe, so obviously that's hence why they utilize it. But the benefit is that there's no separate install. The downside is that Flash is being phased out, especially as it comes to web components. In fact, the Google browser, Chrome, is going to completely eliminate Flash so that you can't even utilize it there. So that's something that may or may not make a huge difference going forward. Great thing about it is it has complete mobile capabilities for hosting as well as attending. It provides recording and playback, so you can record it and play back the webinars that you've presented. You can do polls and question and answering. One thing that's kind of cool about Connect is you actually have the ability to move your components. So say you want your PowerPoint to be a large screen in the bottom right, you want your chat window on the left, or maybe you want to switch that. You can do that. Chat feature allows you to chat to the entire room, to the individual, or even to a select group of individuals. So you don't have to necessarily share something or a question you want to ask. You may not want it to be associated with an individual. This allows you to do that. And then the last thing that Adobe Connect offers is advanced reporting. It tells you who connected, when they connected, what was utilized, how it was utilized. Their reporting features are actually pretty good. So we'll move on to the next one. The next option we have here is AnyMeeting. AnyMeeting has gotten a lot of popularity recently based on its price plan, and we'll talk a little bit about pricing. But the AnyMeeting product is relatively new. Key benefits that we find with AnyMeeting is one, you can send email invitations, so you can literally email and invite someone directly to it. You can also do custom registration, so you can customize it. A lot of programs out there have registration, but you have to take whatever the fields are. They do a custom component. One big benefit, although it may not be, is it allows you up to 200 attendees. As you can imagine, if that's a conference, that's definitely a lot of people to be talking all at once. But if it's a webinar and you're really going to have major groups, then that makes perfect sense. It offers recording and playback. It has a really good screen share capability. It works pretty well. You can do PowerPoint presentations. You can actually prepare them together online, which is kind of a unique feature. It does have a mobile access, both from the iPad as well as just a Android tablet. Also allows you to chat to the entire room, the individual or select group of individuals, as well as conduct polls and question and answers. Now, one thing is I'm taking just some high-level points, exposing you to a variety of these programs, and at the very end of the presentation, we'll have a chart. And this PowerPoint will be available. Just send us an email, send it to info@OptfinITy.com. We'll be happy to share that with you. Moving on to the next one is WebEx. WebEx has been around for a very long time. It was started by itself and then was acquired by Cisco. WebEx is a well-built system. I mean, when you've been around for so long, you have that. Some of the features you'll find, and as you can see there with the video conference capability right there, which is a great capability to have. In terms of invitations, key benefit here is you can actually do it via an automated phone script. You can do it through text as well as email. You can do floating panels. So we talked about with Adobe Connect, where you can move certain pods from one point to the next point. You can have these floating panels and actually have things behind the scenes, so it's going on there. WebEx has probably got the most attendees you can have. It can have up to 3,000 attendees. I can't imagine a meeting with that many people, but it definitely allows for it. It's got some pretty good multimedia capabilities. It allows you to do document application, and desktop sharing all together. One of the cool features that WebEx has, and a few other products do as well, is Active Talker. So what happens is when you dial in or you log in and use the headset and other features, whoever is talking, it actually highlights that person's name. So if you're in a meeting with 10, 15 people and you're not really sure who's talking, this will let you know who is indicating it by a little icon. You can also do chat to the entire room, the individual, or a select group of individuals. And WebEx is very good with the recording and playback capabilities. The next one we're going to talk about is GoToMeeting. It's probably one of my favorites for ease of use, as well as its capabilities. One of the downsides of GoToMeeting is it has a limitation. They all have limitations, but it has a limitation of 6 videos at once. So if you have a meeting of 10 people, only 6 people can be seen, so you have to sort of switch off. So if somebody's talking, you can switch on and off your webcam. Then again, maybe you prefer to sit in the background and not have everybody see you. It's pretty good. From that regard, you have an excuse. Oh, I won't go on there so somebody else can take a look at it. So GoToMeeting, again, one of the reasons I like it is the registration process is really great. It automatically puts it in there. It can give you a calendar, sends you reminders. But in terms of the items that we notified here, you can draw and highlight on the screen, which is great. When you're doing a presentation, you want to talk about what certain things are. Just go ahead and do that. You can share keyboard and mouse control. So say I say, hey, you know what? I'm going to have a conference, but we're going to have 3 speakers. One's here in Washington, D.C., one's going to be in California, and one will be in Texas. Well, we get on there. We're all 3 presenters. We can just send it over and let that person show what's on their screen. So it allows that, and it works very well. You can have up to 1,000 attendees, so not up to as many as WebEx, but it works pretty well. Recording and playback, absolutely. You can definitely record and playback with the GoToMeeting product. It does also have speaker identification, as well as the chat features, as well as attendance reports. And again, these aren't all the features, but these are some of the major ones that we typically highlight. And again, we have a chart at the end to see that. GoToMeeting is owned by Citrix, a virtualization company, so they've been in business for quite a while. And they have other products that tie in, including GoToWebinar if you're looking for something a little less featured, as well as GoToAssist for more of a technical support feature that we actually utilize in our office. The last one that we have here is Skype for Business. It's the Microsoft product. It's the one we're utilizing here. It does have some pretty good features. It ties in the Skype capabilities, so you have the video conference capabilities. It has the chat feature and IM feature. If you're not familiar with that, it's a Skype for Business is very similar to Skype. It's just it used to be called Link, but they've branded it now. So Skype is still Skype for the consumer market, while Skype for Business is, hence the name, Skype for Business. It's got some quirks about it, especially as you're tying in your headphones and your microphone. But in general, we find the product works pretty well. And as a Microsoft partner, we tend to utilize it for a variety of things like this. As a Microsoft product, it does have the ability to tie in and integrate with other Microsoft products really well. So we've got PowerPoint, which we're not even sharing on our desktop. It automatically uploaded into the Skype repository, and it is sharing it there. So it plays back pretty well and pretty quickly. It's 100% tied in with Outlook. So you can literally go into Outlook, create a meeting, put it into your calendar, share that calendar, and everybody has the meeting in front of them. It can do up to 10,000 attendees. I've never tried anything to that extent, but obviously the largest one of the products we're talking about today. Recording and playback, absolutely. In fact, we are recording this presentation right now, and we'll have it back on YouTube a little later today or next week. It ties in with conferencing systems, so you can join by phone when there is no internet. So if the internet's not working, you can dial a phone number and be tied into that webinar. Obviously, if you're dialing in via regular phone, you're not going to be able to see things, but at least you can listen. You can chat and conduct polls, questions, and answers as well. So, oh, and I'm sorry, we did have one more. We have Zoom Video. It's a product that we haven't had too much experience with, but it's making some inroads as well. A little bit about Zoom is it's free video and voice. So they have a variety of different plans, but it's a free product. So you tend to see a lot more people utilizing it. It only allows up to 25 attendees on that base product level. But again, it has recording and playback. It has a mobile platform. So you have your iPad, your tablet. You can log into it utilizing social media. I'm not sure that's a benefit or not. I'm not a big social media person. And in fact, if you come to our Lunch and Learn next month, we're going to talk about some of the security problems with social media. But if you are on social media all the time, it does allow you to do that. There is no time limit for one-on-one calls, but it is a 40-minute time limit for group calls for the free plan. And obviously, there are different plans for all these products and how you want to pay for it and so forth. So those are the products that we've highlighted today. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer those. While waiting to see if there are any questions, quickly take a look at some of the comparisons. And you can see that all these items here, if you look at what we looked at on this first chart, and the charts are actually 3 pages, is all of them offer video and chat support. Okay, so there's nothing different there. Audio support is tied in a variety of ways, and it works from that. Some of them offer the phone capability, some do not. Windows and Mac are supported by all of them, while Linux is only supported partially by WebEx and 100% by Connect and Zoom. Capacity, as you can tell there, it's 1 to about 10,000 based upon which product you utilize. And then the video quality, as you notice, all of them offer some level of HD or high definition. Some of them offer VGA, and that's something important to think about. If you are truly going to do video conferencing, you want to look at the video quality and make sure you have a high level for that. Moving on, desktop sharing. So they all allow you to share the desktop as well as applications. Whiteboard, you'll see there that there's whiteboards for most of the products. AnyMeeting does not offer that currently. Upload the PowerPoint. So as I mentioned with the Skype for Business, we upload it to the cloud so it'll share quicker. It's not waiting on it to transfer from my desktop to the internet to you, but actually from a data center. So it's going to be a little bit quicker. Same thing with the PDFs. GoToMeeting does not offer that. Excuse me, neither does Zoom, but the other 4 products do. Co-browsing, the ability to share and work with another person on there. Pretty much everyone but AnyMeeting. Mobile device support, for the most part, they are all supported, depending on what those devices are. And then you can do breakout sessions. I won't get into too much on that, but if that's something you need to do a lot of, obviously that's something to consider on that. Last checklist that we're going to go through is security. Well, they all have the ability to have security access. All of them provide encrypted communication. Cisco seems to provide a little bit more information about that encryption. Can you host a meeting from the mobile device? AnyMeeting is the only one that cannot. The others, you can, in fact, host the meeting from your mobile device. I'm not sure how well that would work for you. It might be a little difficult to read your slides, but you can definitely, do that. Attend the meeting. They all allow you to attend it universally on the bottom 4. Cloud-based. 4 out of them are cloud-based. Skype, you have to have the Skype. You can download a little component, so you don't have to have it. And then Zoom actually requires a one-time download. All of them allow for recording capabilities. Cisco provides a computer-based as well as a server-based. We looked into VoIP on some of them. Do they tie into the VoIP systems and if they're embeddable? And we do not have that information at this point in time. But if that's something that you're interested in, definitely take a look at that. And if you need any answers on that. So at this point, again, I'll look to see if there are any questions. Looks like we've covered a couple of these items. At this point, I'll give it another minute or so to see if any questions come in. In the meantime, again, I'll remind you that we do these webinars, again, every 4th Friday of the month. The next webinar topic is going to be talking about online backup options for users. So we do that on the enterprise. We'll be talking about that in the month of June. Our June Lunch and Learn is how to protect yourself using social media. And then in July, we'll do a Lunch and Learn on risk management and how to protect your business. So again, it doesn't look like we have any questions, so I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email us. You can do so at info, at OptfinITy.com. And if you have any requests for things you'd like us to talk about, whether it's Office applications, certain things on the internet, how to do certain things, please send us those topics. We're always looking for good topics to present. In the meantime, it's the beginning of the Memorial Day weekend, so I wish you all a enjoyable and reflective weekend. And again, we look forward to seeing you next month.